Hey, AfterBuzzers, we're going to be talking all things Born This Way, episode 5 and 6. We're going to be getting into the ravioli disaster, the no drama party, and 5-star Uber rides. Let's get it going, guys.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
You don't want no drama. No drama.
No drama. All right, AfterBuzzers, I am Joseph A. Shepherd, and to my left, I have the beautiful
Carlina Will.
What's up? I'm Steph Sabra.
All right, we're going to be talking all things Born This Way, episodes 5 and 6. We have a lot of things coming up. We have Megan not answering her phone. We end up having a self-defense class, and we have a lot of crazy things that were going on in this episode. Yes. What did you guys think overall, these two?
Oh my gosh, I was so in for the no drama party, and I'm so glad they made it co-ed. And then also I'm interested in talking about Rachel's cooking skills.
Oh.
I love this episode. I feel like the communication skills were better than any that I possess between friends. There's no passive aggressiveness. I'm they get straight to the point and not argue, they debate things in a smart way, like the co-ed party, and I'm learning from this. I was taking notes.
So getting into everything, we have the up of Rachel and Megan living together. Is this kind of how you guys expected things to start going? Are you excited to see them actually working together and being living together? Are you excited for that?
Yes, I think they did a fantastic job. They learned how to. First of all, I'm glad she learned how to clean up after a party. Remember, wasn't that my concern? A few episodes ago, I'm are they gonna remember to clean up, and order food? And I'm glad that they made it co-ed. But just as friends, my first roommate, it didn't do too well. So just the fact that they really were able to listen to each other and be hey, let's do this, let's do that, let's actually sit on the couch, like Steph was saying, and have a proper conversation of what kind of party we would want to have. So I think they did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I thought I wasn't sure in the beginning because it's always weird, even more so when you are good friends, but they're the perfect balance of
really are.
I love how Rachel's a little bit more shy and Megan's let's do this, but she's nice about it.
Exactly. They also seem like the good roommates that will stay out of each other's business, because you did see Megan separately and you did see Rachel separately, so when they did intermingle, it was good intermingling, and that's the perfect roommate to have, because when they're too up in your business, it's a big no, do not get near me.
And they were cheering each other on, which I'm all about.
It was so cute.
She's yes, girl. And I was yes. Give your girl compliments.
When the moms came over and they were ordering the food and Megan was ordering the food, it was the biggest deal. And it was so cute because... Do you remember your first time being on the phone? Do you remember that?
Ordering food?
Any type of conversation, not the grandma, here's the phone for your grandma, but something big, ordering food. Do you remember that?
Yes,
yeah.
And I still screw it up. So it's really hard to order food.
It is.
Especially at a Thai place or trying any Asian food or anything where the names are different than what you. It's not pasta. It's lo mein. No one wants to.
And
say
I had to remember, when they give you your food, they usually don't give utensils. You have to ask for that when you're ordering.
There's a lot of things.
I was can I have a Thai iced tea? Please don't forget the straw. That's so sad. It's stuff you just have to remember.
I just remember the first time that I called somewhere and my mom said you can order pizza, and it was during my puberty stage, and so my voice sounded like a girl. And then they were okay, ma'am, we'll bring you the pizza, and I was Mom, I'm not a girl. But Megan and Rachel, I think they are doing the best that they can. They're doing really great. And then Rachel decided to cook for the first time, and she cooked her dad a grilled cheese first.
She did.
And then she moves on to something bigger and better. She moves on to the ravioli. Now, cooking expert Carlina, what do you think about that ravioli?
She made 4. For 4 people, so each person got one. But last time I checked, ravioli, you need to have at least 6, 7, 8 pieces. But it was her first time, and I first thought her mom, Lori, was going to be the expert in it, and then she's like, "Girl, I don't know how to make this." What y'all need cooking with Carlina to come teach y'all how to make some ravioli. We'll make that happen.
You should get Rachel on the show.
That's true. Rachel, come on my show.
I'm finding how to cook with her too because also, Rachel, you picked one of the hardest dishes
Yeah.
I've ever seen prepared. Like, you were hand making that, the pasta to go on it. And I was still impressed, though. I'd be really happy with the one piece of ravioli from you.
Yeah, she did
I
good.
feel the exact same way. I can't even cook a grilled chicken breast. Like, I'm like, is it done yet? Is it done yet? Is it done yet? I'm like, no, it looks pink. No. So
My thing wasn't the 4 pieces. It was the fact that those 4 pieces took her 2 hours.
she tried her
She
best.
did.
At the end
She
of the
did.
day,
A for effort. I respect it.
for effort.
Such a good attitude about it, though, because I would have been like, seriously, Mom, no, I'm not cooking this anymore.
Yeah, right? Now, a new addition to the cast this season has been Rocco. And I actually thought it was the cutest thing. He was now riding a school bus. You know, he's very young. And he was so nervous to end up, you know, stepping down the stairs. I thought it was the cutest thing. But the funniest thing I could not stop laughing at is when they were doing the pumpkin, like the wind up pumpkin, like the Jack in the Box, and they were like going it through, and the thing kept coming out and scaring him. But he loved it, and he kept doing it over and over, even though it scared him. I absolutely thought it was so cute.
I don't like getting scared, so he's braver than me.
My favorite part about Rocco's storyline this episode was his mom. His mom, when the dad was like, oh, well, people are waiting behind the bus. And she's like, they can wait. She's so right. They can wait for him to walk down the stairs. And then he did it. And it was a huge accomplishment. Like, there's no rush.
But how long would you wait, though, if you were the car behind?
Until he walked.
I'm just curious.
But his mom, yeah, like your mom was really funny. Like, how can you beep at a school bus? I was
That
like,
is true.
It's true.
You cannot beep
get mad at
You
a school
cannot beep
bus.
at a school bus or a disability bus.
Yeah, there's like...
Yep. Those are the two.
Yeah.
Or it's like, yeah, that's when you need to take a step back and be like, what is my rush?
Yeah.
It is true. Like, it kind of puts things into perspective. Like, there's no need.
No.
Yes.
They can wait another extra minute,
Yeah.
2 minutes.
And that was worth him, you know, conquering his fear to go down the stairs. Like, it was great.
It was good. And then we get into Shawn'S Business. Now, Shawn is like trying to like do a one-up on Megan by doing these T-shirts. I need to know if there's some rivalry there, if they're having a business competition.
Shawn'S.
Shawn'S.
Doesn't that sound like your friend's name? Like, we got Shawn'S on the show today.
No, all my
I just
friends'
wanna
names are,
know-
like, Peter.
No, he's like, my friend's name's Peter.
How both Shawn and Megan have come up with like the best slogans on T-shirts I've ever
Right?
seen.
Yeah.
Like separately, so I feel like there could be a competition, but they're definitely completely different markets. Like I love your slogans, Shawn, but I probably wouldn't wear them like I would wear Megan's. But I know a ton of people who would want Shawn's slogans.
That's true. That's true. It's a good point. Like two completely different audiences, so it's not really going to mix and match. Do you think that Shawn's going to be able to have this business thrive? And then my next question for you is, what other products should Shawn put out?
Yes, he is gonna thrive, especially with his girl, Kayla. We love her. Kaylee, we love her. And another product he could have, I have to think about that.
Okay, first of all, his business is gonna do amazing. What is it? Beer Burrito Babes. I love that shirt. I wish it was like Beer Burrito Bay, you know, with a dude on the end, and I would wear it. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, that's
there
true.
you go. That's an idea. There you go.
There
Your
you
next
go.
shirt for women. There you go.
I'm trying to think what I would want. Maybe some like a sweat outfit. That could be really
Yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah. That says Shawn'S on it.
Yeah.
Shawn'S.
I need Shawn'S.
That sounds like it's a really good brand name, like Yeezy and like this is like
Yeah,
Shawn'S. Like now I'm getting where you're saying, Carly.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting it. I'm
You're
feeling
getting
it. I'm
You're
feeling
getting
it.
See? It sounds like you're hanging out with your friend.
I also, one thing about the show that I really, really love is I love how supportive these parents are, and I love how they are there like through thick, they're there through thin, but they are always there. And Megan, I need to know why you were not answering your phone for your mama.
Oh no.
What's the longest you've gone without talking to your mom and dad?
When they've actively tried
Yes.
to call me.
Yes.
Probably a night. Like when I was in high school and really annoying, or maybe now I would do that, but my mom freaks out. She's like Chris, where it's like, because my mom's a prosecutor, so she sees like the worst things in the world, and
So she assumes the worst?
assumes the worst instantly. Like, oh my God, God, she's been picked up and stolen. And so I get it. Like, it must put so much fear into their heads. So, but Megan seemed to acknowledge it once Chris explained. I just need a text.
Yeah, that's it.
I went longer without talking to my mom, like 2-3 months. But she's like a public defender, so similar. But like she's always trying to like she'll ask you a question, she'll be like, "But I already knew the answer. Why'd you lie?" And I'm like, "I didn't lie."
See, that's getting into the whole thing about the Megan pregnancy thing. Your mom's pulling that stuff.
That was her. Always checking social media. I had to block her. She doesn't follow me, y'all. Like that's Megan, block your mom on social media.
Don't.
Megan, don't listen to it. Don't listen to it.
Do not. That was when you were like, I feel like Megan's she's grown and they share everything, so there's nothing to hide.
Yeah.
I also love that when she was ignoring her mom's phone call, she's sitting on her bed and she's like, cookie. Like, and I'm like, oh, you watching Empire? I was like,
Did you guys see like what she had her mom's name saved under?
no, what did she have to say?
Like it was something like drama queen diva. Like, I would never save my mom's name like that. That's so funny.
Oh my gosh, Megan's sass this episode was so funny. Like throughout it all, like no matter what she was saying, even though I was like, you probably shouldn't say that to your mom, I was like still laughing.
It was hilarious. And then when those firefighter strippers came in, they actually weren't strippers, but the firefighters came in.
He wishes.
I do wish. Just like Megan was wishing. Megan was wishing. She was all about that.
Did you pay attention to the fire safety though?
I did hear the beep when they were like, have you ever heard a beep before? I was like, yeah, I heard a beep.
That's the only thing he remembers.
But it was so funny too because when they were like, do you know what to do when, it's safety and like, if something ends up happening, call 911. And then they were like, and then the firefighter and the police men will come and they both were like, oh, like.
Megan was so funny when she was saying that. And then you could see Rachel being like the embarrassed. She was so embarrassed. She's like, Megan!
Another big moment that we got into these two episodes was John and Steven and with their driving. They both are wanting to get their license. They're both wanting to achieve that. And they both got in the car for the first time. And
They did.
You seem a little scared there, Carlina.
For John, yes. Would you be the passenger for John? No. He drives really fast, and I think I agree with the driver, the coach or whatever, where he's like, get your vision checked a little bit for peripheral, because there is always, especially driving in LA, there is that car that just like sneaks up on the side.
I forgot that they're in LA. Like that
yeah,
scared me
they're
even
in
more.
LA.
Oh my gosh.
Like LA driving is scary. If you can drive in LA, you can drive it anywhere. I'm just telling y'all. So I was just like scared about that part, but like other than that, like I feel like I would more likely ride with Sean. Steven. I would ride with Steven.
I just loved John's perseverance and his, like, even after all, when his sister was talking smack, when like everyone was telling him he can't, he's like, I don't care, I'm so committed to this. And that is like the whole reason I love this show. That I feel like I can do anything if he wants to do anything, and I feel like he will achieve this. It'll just take him more time. Like everyone has something that takes them a little longer, and this is his thing. Like maybe it is the eye check, and like, but the driver ed teacher who I loved was saying that you can train that.
Yeah.
So that's awesome.
Those driving tests are hard.
They are hard.
They are
Did you pass your first one? I didn't.
I don't think I passed my first one.
Yep.
I really do not. Those things are hard, and I love that Elena was trying to help John out, and then John's sister comes in and she was like, what do you think about the enchiladas? And I was like, what? I was like, that needs to be my new slogan. Start asking people, like, what do you think about the enchiladas?
I wrote that down. I was dying at that because she was the best friend and inspiration, but then she was also throwing the shade like, they're getting a lot wrong, some right.
And that goes back to like them saying like, listen, they do like, what are they, they're very honest with each other. Like, I'm gonna kick it back a little bit to a little bit of our previous conversation about Rachel and Megan. Remember when their parents sat them down and they were like, hey, what do you guys think you need to work on? And Rachel's like, I need to work on cooking. Yes, Rachel, yes, you do. And then also cleaning, and she's like, yeah. And then Megan's like, I need to work on keeping my room clean. And Rachel turns like, yes, girl. Like the shade. I was thinking that though when she was in her room. I was like, I really wanted to make her bed. Like she had her room crazy.
It's hard.
She probably couldn't find her phone. That's what she needed to
But
find.
I just want to know, why do we make our beds? Like, who are we making our beds for? At the end of the day, like, why do I need to wake up in the morning and make my bed?
Because you're about to get you, just in case you have company over, you never know. You want it to look presentable. That's what my mom used to tell me.
I mean, but if you, like, when I was younger, Mom would be like, make your bed. I'm like, I'm 6 years old. Ain't nobody coming over. Ain't nobody going to care.
You don't even let me have play dates, Mom. Like,
I mean, I'm 27 now, and I'm still not making my bed.
Oh, gosh. My bed is made
I
every
try
morning.
to, but there's a lot of days where I'll just flip the sheets.
That
Yeah,
was-
I know. I'm getting a new apartment. This is why I feel Rachel and Megan's like growing pains, and it is one of my rules that I want to like have the throw pillows and be
Yes.
all fancy with it. Yes,
That's like every time I come over, people are like, because I always put stuff back the way it is before I leave home for the day, because I never do know who's coming over. Like someone's like, you know, because I cook, so someone's like, hey, I'm making dinner. You want to join? And they're like, yeah. So I never am like, oh shoot, I gotta hurry up and clean my house before they get there, because they usually get there the same time I do. So it's just like they're like, oh, your house is always clean.
So
It's 'cause I
every
clean.
morning,
Every
you
morning.
get up out of bed.
Yes.
You brush your teeth.
Yes.
You then end up doing your bed.
Yep.
You clean around your little nicks and knacks around the house.
Yep. And then I leave.
How long did that take? Too long. Another thing that I think should be a law is that when Steven was driving, and then he was not when he's driving, when they were doing the questions, and when
Yeah.
Ellen was asking the questions, and then she was like, what's like the speed limit or something? And he was like 60 miles an hour. I was like, yeah, I wish it was 60,
65, and it was like 65,
everywhere.
Oh yeah, that is dreams.
That is dreams.
Another thing that Rachel and Megan ended up doing is they all went to the self-defense class. That was a big,
Yes,
big
ladies.
thing. Have you guys taken one? Do you think that that should be something that people should do?
Yes. As a woman, I don't know if you feel this, I'm constantly like in fear, but also fully aware. And I need to take actually another one because the last time I took one was in college. But to know that you have a little bit on your side, a little bit more of control of the situation is so easing. And to hear what happened to Rachel, which is literally the most disgusting thing ever.
That was depressing. Do you want to talk about that? What she
Yeah,
said?
yeah. Well, if you guys don't remember, Rachel was approached by a man who asked her what her disability was and then asked if he could take her down the street. Yeah. That is so many red flags, and she did the perfect thing by calling her mom. Ladies, always call someone if you feel like it's always trust your gut. 9 times out of 10, your gut is right, and even if you're like a little bit snarky to someone, who cares? Guys can take the denial,
Yes.
but that was so creepy. So I felt for Rachel when she felt legitimate fear from then to now, which a lot of women feel every day. And so taking this class, I feel like, was the perfect little medicine to cure some of that.
Yes, I definitely say I took the self-defense class, but I also love to box. So these guns.
Yeah.
So nice one. No, but seriously, because it teaches you, you know, your opponent, like your steps, you want to match them and fighting. You know, so it's like a little bit for women, we have, you know, our arms and our legs to kind of, you know, because we're shorter than men. So they say always hit low. So I, you know, practice a lot of uppercuts and stuff like that when I'm boxing. And then also, women don't realize that so much stuff in your purse can be used as weapons.
Ooh.
First of all, you
Tell
got
it.
like your pepper spray. Don't forget your pepper spray. You got your hot sauce, which you can like throw in somebody's eyes. You have your keys, which can be used as brass knuckles. So these are like all things I've learned. Like, you know, because in boxing, sometimes you don't have your gloves. So you got to find like other things, you know. You have, you know, those big water bottles. I carry like a huge Trader Joe's water bottle. When it's full, that thing might hurt.
You with this big purse, like Santa Claus's sack. Like,
Trader Joe's water, dude. I always think about that with the gallon chugs.
Yes, you could hit somebody with that. That's a black eye right
that
there.
is true.
So think about like the stuff in your purse and your surroundings. So like, wow, they're not going to expect you to use your keys to like, because keys are sharp. If you're like that, you know, if you combine it with like an uppercut, like you can get pretty far and scream while you're hitting him. Like he's probably going to be the one screaming, but you know, just make your way for it. So self-defense, but also like, even though if you think you're winning the fight, still scream so you can get attention from other people and then call for help.
I actually love too that their parents are taking all of these measures to make sure that they are safe and that they are okay and they're okay to live on their own. And I really, like, looking at this, I really do wish that when I was in high school and when I was like gonna be leaving out of the house that I had these things, because like you never had like classes to teach you these things. Never like these little small things that could save your life, like a self-defense class. Like I don't know. I was walking.
But we
down
had
the middle.
geometry, so
Yeah, exactly. It's in the Pentagon. Exactly. But I do love that the parents. They like tug at my heartstrings all the time because they care so much about these children. And I mean, when they were like bawling, like when Rachel's mom was like crying over like actually. And she was like, I'll still come every single day, but until I know that she's ready. And then she said, Megan's mom ended up saying that she believed that Megan is being more independent with Rachel than she was living with her. And I think that really, really struck a chord with me because it was like, you have to let them go in order for them to grow. Like, oh, that's a good saying.
Yes, totally. I totally agree. Every time the parents come on, I'm like, you guys are the best parents ever. And we talked about Rachel's parents. They continuously are like the coolest people ever.
I love them.
And the style points for the mama.
What? She always looks good.
She does always look
She
good.
does. I love her, like, bob, everything.
Yeah.
Like, she's got it going on. She's the swag. I want to be that cool as a mom, like, growing up, hopefully.
Well, that's why Rachel is such a queen.
Yeah. I agree.
And well, everyone on this cast is like my favorite people ever. It's kind of bad. Every time I watch it, I'm like, they're my favorite. I'm like, no, they're my favorite. I'm like, they're all my favorite.
They're all my favorite.
They're all my favorite. Let's talk about, like, Rachel's Uber real quick.
Yes.
On the topic of safety.
On the topic of safety, yes. I thought she would make it. I don't know why, like, her mom was nervous. Like, it's Uber, but maybe because we've done Uber every since. Like, Uber is a little scary, but
it's...
like, your driver's name. Like, I think Uber does a great job of trying to protect you as much as possible.
Is it scarier for girls and guys? Like, when I get an Uber, I'm not scared. I mean, like, I know that that's like a bad thing to say. I mean, I guess it's a good thing to say.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like for a girl, like, a guy can be who's driving you can be in a very they can be all over the place, and it can be somebody who is extremely excited one night and picks somebody up and does not take no for an answer. So like, is that a scarier factor?
Does actually happen like all the time. Uber's having a huge problem with that. But yeah, it does. If I have a guy pick me up, I'll usually get dropped off a block away from my house because I don't want them to have my address. Or if I feel some type of way, I'll like be like, I'm sharing my location now, so you can know like if I get dropped off. And so I get the fear, but I feel like Rachel it was the daytime. It wasn't like she's not taking it late at night, like from a bar or anything like that. Usually I think women have to be more aware after they drink or they're going out late. But still, it's always good to be aware because strangers are weirdos.
They are weird, but I agree with Steph. Like, always send your location to your friends. Do you guys have any, like, speaking of, hit it with that special segment?
Special segment is crazy Uber stories.
This one was in the works.
Who's going first?
What crazy Uber stories
Oh.
do you have for us today?
Okay, the craziest one, I haven't had that many weird, like, horrible ones. I would say that they all unload their issues on me. Like, I feel like they're therapists. But the main one was this one guy trying to tell me, like, all these, like, really weird relationship tips and, like, sex tips and, like, all this. Yeah, and I have it on camera. Maybe next episode. Because I had to film that. I'm like, if you're going to make me feel uncomfortable, I'm going to save this footage.
What?
So I have it. He was funny, but he was weird. Yeah. That was the weird, and my one friend was like so uncomfortable, and I was just like kind of whatever. So
I know this show, we tried to keep it a little G, but like, were any of those tips like great? You could just say like yes or no. We'll keep it really PG.
Nothing I didn't know. No. And what's yours, Carlina?
Y'all, it had to deal with food. So, I went out to eat and was ordering to go, and so the Uber driver's bringing me back from the restaurant because I ordered my food to go. Listen, I had to hurt my ankle so I couldn't drive. Stop looking at me like that.
No, you just made me think of a story. So that's what
okay. So, like, I couldn't really drive. So, like, he was like, man, I haven't eaten. I was like, really? You want some of my food? Boy, I hooked him up with some plates, some hot wings. I got him, like, half of my potato salad. Like, my Uber driver got fed. So it was, I gave him half of my drink.
You got a 7-star rating right there.
My rating is a 4.95.
Oh.
Ow, ow.
I take care of my Uber drivers. You gonna get fed.
Well, I don't think I take care of my Uber driver. So one time, I had a few drinks and I really wanted some Popeyes. And I made him drive to Popeyes and sit in the drive-thru for about 30 minutes because the line was so slow. I am not great.
What?
I didn't think it was gonna be that long. We were sitting
What
there
was
for 30
your
minutes.
bill at the end of this?
Probably like a 80 something.
I don't know.
I don't know, $80 worth of Popeyes. Yeah, but ride-sharing services can be great, and they can be a little crazy depending on what it is. Going through the episodes tonight, were there any moments that really either struck your heart or you were laughing crazy about?
I think Kaylee and Shawn's whole story, I really, really loved Kaylee. And I love the part when he was asking her about the business and they had like the most genuine conversation about her supporting him. He listed his 4 things that he looked for in a woman. And she was like, well, that's what I look for. And then he told her she's the one he loves and the one who has his heart. And I was like, okay, like this is so romantic. But I love when he offered her wanted her to do the social media, and she's like, I don't know if you've noticed this, but I'm kind of a social media queen. And I was like, you tell him. I love that part.
Love you, Kaylee. She's awesome. For me, my favorite was just seeing Megan stand up to her mom, because I know that's been like an ongoing battle. So just for her to be like, hey mom, I can do this. You gotta understand, like, when I'm in my own place, this is my rules. This is when you can call, you can text. You know, just seeing Megan become more of her own person, and you know, taking on her business and living with Rachel and killing it. Like, being the true boss, going back to last week, boss queen that she is.
Bossy.
Bossy. I loved when Shawn did the pop-up shop and there was a cardboard cutout of Shawn right at the entrance, and I was like, I want a cardboard cutout of myself. I don't know what I would do with it, but I was like you said, like, you a boss, you got a cardboard cutout of yourself. I thought that was the first thing that he bought. He was like, Mom, this is the money. The money's going to a cardboard cutout of myself.
His confidence is like so. Yeah. I love his confidence when she lifted up the blanket when they were going through the merchandise for the towel. And she's like, we've only sold 2 of these. And he's like, what? And she's like, do you want to pull it? And he's like, no. I like it.
I can see Josh doing that.
Yes.
and then when she said, and then when she goes, when they were like, a baby onesie, and I was like, man, he's making onesies for some babies. I was like, what am I doing with my life? I mean, it always just brings you around. It's this show to me is just so phenomenal in so many different aspects, just showing that you can be young, you can have a disability, and I like to call it an ability. Like, you know, at the end of the day, like, you have a voice that you may not have necessarily had, you know, if you didn't have your ability. Like, you have a voice, you're able to showcase that and show the world that, hey, I'm not any different than you. Like, at the end of the day, it's like, live your life, and they are doing the best with their lives. Like, I am like envious of their life. It's like when you're like Instagram, you see all those like people with social media like all overseas, you're like, I want to be there. Like them, I'm always like, oh, I want to do a self-defense class. I want to go and, like, you know, do all this stuff. But I absolutely, like, every single week I come down to it.
Can I bring up like one more topic? I gotta
Go at it. Go at it.
Can we talk about the goat yoga real quick?
Oh, yeah.
What? No. Like, who did the goat pee on? I forgot. Who was that? No, you're not.
Pee on?
Yes, a goat peed on one of them. Who was it? Was it, oh my gosh, was it Rachel? I think
what episode were you watching?
Oh my God.
I remember Megan saying, I want a man to massage me, not a goat.
There
I
was.
said same.
The goat peed on Rachel's shirt, and I was like, I'm not having it just for that. I'm not doing the yoga.
I just don't understand how having goats in yoga is actually relaxing, because all I would think about is, oh no, like that would give you more knots in your back.
So
what is that? I wish someone could tell us what's like the medical reason for the goats.
Probably supposed to, quote, calm you, but then I started thinking about it and I was like, what would be even calmer? Like, would it be a cat? Would it be a dog on you? Like, but then I would get allergies. So I'm like, no, I don't think any of that would be good.
Like, aren't their hooves like sharp? They're just
yeah.
Right? Or is it supposed to be like, you know, like the acupuncture in your back, like that, where they're just like clawing?
But I mean, it can, but at the same time, like getting downward dog and you have a goat on you, like.
Maybe for balance.
No, yeah, this is a legitimate thing.
It is. Like, Steph's looking it up.
Wow.
If you are in the Los Angeles area and have goats that are available to be able to do goat yoga in the studio, then please give us a heads up. We'll gladly do it next week. We shoot the show every Wednesday around 7 p.m. So if you can do that, then bring them in and we'll have a great time. So, you are doing it. So next week, guys, we have the finale coming up. It is the big old wedding. Are there any predictions that you guys have coming up? Anything that you are thinking, excited for?
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Ooh, okay.
Do you think it's going to be a bridezilla? Do we think...
Yes, she will be a bridezilla, but I think she'll also be fine because Angel's pretty chill. You know, she's gonna realize, like, listen, I need to calm down and get this done. But I'm curious to see if they do like the buffet or the sit-down dinner. Remember that? Like,
yeah, that was that big conversation we had
about that.
You better not. You better not.
Did you see this one? Didn't even know what the Queen Mary was. She thought it actually sailed.
A Queen Mary?
The Queen Mary, the boat.
Yeah, that one that's haunted.
It is.
I can't wait to see the wedding venue now that I know it's not the Queen Mary.
No, it's
and
not.
The Queen Mary's not moving.
Yes, it's not moving.
I do have to say in the chat, I'll say it after my prediction. I do predict that we're going to get some bridezilla, but Angel always calms her down. This is why they're going to have such a great marriage. I think that we'll have more. I think Megan and Rachel are moving back into their houses, so they might
because it was that time period.
Time period. So they might figure out what their next steps are because I feel like they're both ready to live on their own. I hope that they continue to live together because I feel like that's a really good partnership. And hopefully more Elena because
I miss Elena this episode.
And her William.
They're so cute.
They are so cute.
I love her and William.
But quick in the chat, coffee time when we were talking. I didn't see this before, but when we were talking about making his bed, he said, "I'm nearly 50 and I still don't make my bed." Thank you, coffee time. You're making us feel good.
Y'all are so bad. I'm done with them.
I think I'm most looking forward to in predictions that I have. I do think that Cristina might be a little bit of a bridesmaid, or not a bridesmaid, bridezilla when it comes down to it. I am excited that all of the girls are going to be in the wedding. Yeah. I'm excited that it's going to be a whole cast like type wedding and just be able to like, have those moments. Like I can't imagine. I mean, I'm not dating anybody and I'm not married, so I mean, I can't imagine what those steps are like. But I feel like it's going to be so magical. I feel like the dress is like going to be the dress. Like I feel like everything's going to come together. I am excited to see if it is a buffet just for you.
A buffet is good. You save lots of money.
We are not the Golden Corral.
You did not just shade the Golden Corral.
Yeah, but I am excited for that. I'm also
Stephanie's losing it.
I'm
sorry, Golden Corral. He don't mean it. He doesn't mean it.
I'm very, very excited to see, like you said, like what happens with Megan and what happens with Rachel, and if they do live together. I do think them living together is what is needed in order for them to be able to grow and flourish. I think that all of them, I think the whole cast, each of the cast members has something that's going to help them be able to be their full potential. And I think that Megan and Rachel living together and moving out together, that's going to help them grow as people. Like we kind of saw with John and Steve in the driving thing. Like it may not work out for them, but I think that there is something else that's going to help them be able to achieve that and be able to get to, because it's like a self-satisfaction thing. At the end of the day, you want to be independent. Everybody wants to be an independent at the end of the day until you get independent and then you just want to go back to your mommy.
Yes.
Like eventually like it comes around. But I think that I'm very excited for next week.
I am. It's going to be so good. And Steph, do you have any hints for next week?
Oh, you guys, such exciting news. We're going to be able to Skype with the entire cast beforehand, so we'll be able to show some of that footage during the finale. Yes, we are so excited. And we'll be able to see, I think, all of them because they're going to be viewing it together. So it'll be a great time. And write down some questions in the comments or tweet us some questions that you guys want us to ask them, and we'll do it.
So excited.
So excited. Well, guys, that's all the time that we have for you today. I'm Joseph Shepard.
You guys can follow me at Cooking with Carlina, and then on Twitter at Cook with Carlina.
And you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Steps Abroad. We will be doing our No Drama Party next week.
Next week.
For the finale.
Until next time, we will see you. Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.